Relax, you're with us. Cruise Holidays of Viera.
Pull up a deck chair and sit back, relax. It's time for your favorite cruise hour. You're on board, just cruising. Whether you're dreaming of your first cruise or planning your next one, join Larry Jackson as he explores the magical world of cruising. To launch today's cruise, here's Larry Jackson.
Good morning. Aloha, e como mai, and welcome aboard. I'm Larry Jackson, owner of Cruise Holidays of Viera, and I'll be your cruise director for this week's edition of our radio magazine that's all about the magical world of travel and cruising that we call Just Cruising. And we're so glad you could be with us this Saturday morning. Got some exciting news to share with you about ships coming to Port Canaveral. We'll cover that a little later on in the show. Also, we now have the ability for Tsa Precheck here in Brevard County. I'm excited to tell you about that. And I'm also going to tell you about a unique rail trip that we are going. Linda and I will be escorting next September, going to England, Wales, and Scotland. So all that's going to be available on our show a little later on. But first, I want to give you a little recap about our cruise on the Oasis of the Seas. We returned home last Sunday from a 7-day Western Caribbean cruise on the Oasis. We were escorting the Knit and Stitch cruise. We had 278 passengers aboard in our group. We had all kinds of great things going on board. We did a fashion show, which was just unbelievable, really a lot of fun, with Stephen B., a knitting star from up in Minneapolis. We had a couple of cocktail parties. We had classes at different venues around the ship during the whole 7 days. And all in all, it was just a wonderful cruise on the Oasis of the Seas. It was even better because Linda's son and his fiancée flew in from California along with his new future mother-in-law and sister-in-law, and so that was great fun, showing them the Oasis for the first time. I've decided something about the Oasis. You either really love her or you don't. It's just, I don't think there's anything in between as far as the ship is concerned. Personally, I happen to absolutely love her. I think she is just a magnificent ship. I think back to the first cruise I ever went on the Oasis of the Seas for her inaugural 2-day run out of Port Canaveral. I was really excited about the ship then, and I'm still excited about the ship. One of the things that we did this time, which was a little bit different, was that we had the Aqua Theater Suite. Now, this is a very unique cabin. It's we were on the 14th deck, and we were at the aft of the ship. You know, if you look at the aft part of the Oasis of the Seas, the decks, the staterooms kind of come to a point from about a deck 10 on up. And right at the end of that point is where our cabin was. So we had one balcony that faced directly aft and down into the Aqua Theater, so we could stand or sit on our balcony at night and watch the show we were about 20 feet above where the highest high diver was, but that was kind of really neat to watch the show from above. And then we had a living room. Then a separate room was our bedroom and bathroom, and we had another balcony off of it. But the nicest thing about the cabin was in the bedroom, we had a floor-to-ceiling picture window that went the whole width of the cabin on the wall. The whole wall was a glass wall, which looked directly into the wake of the ship. Beautiful cabin, Aqua Theater Suites. And another great thing about this suite is, now it's a little bit different from the junior suite in that you get some of the suite amenities. Two, which we really enjoyed, was being able to go to the coastal kitchen, which is a dining room reserved just for suite guests. We could go there for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. We could even take guests there on as space available basis. And the other thing I liked about the suite amenities that you get on the Oasis is they have a private sun deck on the 17th deck that's key card gets you into, and only people in suites can go there, and it's really nice. They have a bar up there, and it's not crowded at all, and tons of chairs to go lay out in the sun or up there. So those were two great amenities that we enjoyed on the suites on the Oasis of the Seas. So just wanted to let you know how our cruise went. We went to, we also went to Labadee, and one of the things we did in Labadee was, and this was courtesy of Royal Caribbean, there's a group of ladies in Haiti called Haiti Baby, and what they do is they knit baby accessories like caps for newborns and blankets and things like that. And our group of knit and stitch folks brought them some presents. And this is a really great idea. They brought them these inflatable lanterns that are solar powered, that are powered by the solar recharging, and they can recharge your cell phones. And in Haiti, the power is kind of erratic, so they're very appreciative to get something that would charge their cell phones. And Royal Caribbean sent a bus down to Cape Haitian and brought some of the folks from Haiti Baby up to Labadee, and they met with our knitters from our cruise. So that was all really cool, and we had a great time doing that, and really great folks from Haiti. Well, let's look at what happened in the world of cruising and the news of the world of cruising this week, and our big thrilling news that we got for here at Port Canaveral. And I can't tell you how excited I am about this. First of all, the Oasis of the Seas will be leaving us in May of 2019. She's going to go to Barcelona for the summer and then go to Miami out following that to be stationed down there, or ported down there, I guess, as they say in the naval world. We will be getting at Port Canaveral in her stead, in place of the Oasis, we will be getting the Harmony of the Seas. And now this will be a newer ship. She was launched in 2016. The Harmony was, so just a year old now, whereas the Oasis is 7 years old, or 8 years old now, and she was launched in 2009. I'll have some more comparisons for you between the two ships, the differences between the Harmony and the Oasis. And the other great, and I think this is probably even better news, is that we are getting a new ship for the 3 and 4 day cruises to the Bahamas here at Port Canaveral, and that's an old favorite of ours, the Mariner of the Seas. And I don't know if you recall, way back, this was the first year we were in business at Cruise Holidays of Viera, and we were so thrilled when the Mariner of the Seas came here. At the time, she was the biggest ship, had a promenade, had an ice skating rink, all kinds of real neat stuff, and we were kind of sad to see her leave because she was always one of our favorite ships. But the Mariner will be back. That means we will have balconies going to Nassau. We will have junior suites. We will have grants. We will have all kinds of great things. A magnificent ship for us to use. I have to tell you, over the last 2 or 3 years, we have reduced our bookings of 3 and 4 day cruises on Royal Caribbean to almost nothing because, frankly, the ships that they sent us for those cruises were terrible, and we still don't recommend the ship, and so we have just pretty much gotten out of the 3 and the 4 day cruise business. But now with the Mariner of the Seas coming, and she is so much fun. You guys are, if you don't remember her, you didn't sail with us back in 2003 and 4 when she was here. You've got to, you're going to really enjoy her. She's a lot of fun. Nice size. She's very easy to get around. She's like Oasis miniature, but with a lot of the same amenities. So really excited about that. But we'll, a little bit later on, we're going to tell you all about, we're going to compare the Harmony of the Seas with the Oasis of the Seas. Now, all of this is going to be occurring in May of 2019. The word I'm getting is that the two ships, the Harmony and the Mariner, will be available for booking starting on November 18th, and that's a week from today. And what we're doing is we're asking you if you're interested in booking either one of these ships, if you'll shoot us an email at Cruise Holidays of Viera, we'll put you on the list and we'll get in contact with you and we'll get set up to do the bookings when they first come out. So, before we get started with all of that, the band is here, which means we're going to take a brief time out. We're going to run ashore for a shore excursion and let you hear some of the sponsors that make Just Cruising available to you every week here on WMMB. We come back, we'll talk about the comparison of the Harmony of the Seas and the Oasis of the Seas, what you can expect from our new ship. So please join us. Don't go anywhere.
This is Just Cruisin' on 1240 and 1350 WMMB.
Hi there, and welcome back. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Remember, today is Veterans Day. Don't forget to thank a vet. I am one. In case you weren't aware, I was in the United States Air Force for 11 years. I was an Air Force pilot. Served in Thailand flying C-130s, then at Travis Air Force Base flying C-141s. And helped evacuate Saigon in the fall of the city when it fell. And then was stationed at Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii, where I stayed until I got out of the service in 1982. So all veterans, salute you, and thanks so much for what you did for the country. And okay, back to what we were talking about before the break, and that was our new ships coming, one ship coming home. That's the way I like to say about the Mariner. Now, the Mariner's a Voyager-class ship. She has a capacity of 4,200 passengers, so that's kind of like midship these days in the way, because our ships have been getting bigger and bigger. And she'll be doing our 3 and 4 day cruises to the Bahamas. Yay! You guys are going to love her. And this is going to be just magnificent for Port Canaveral. Again, I want to thank Commissioner Wayne Justice and all the other great commissioners out at the Port of Canaveral. Your hard work of getting our terminals upgraded and going out and actively soliciting these new ships has paid off, and we really appreciate what you've done for us here in our local community. This gang, I'm telling you, having the Mariner doing 3 and 4 day cruises is going to really increase the number of folks coming here to Port Canaveral, and that benefits all of us here in Brevard County. All right, let's talk about the Harmony of the Seas. She's right now about a year old. And how does she compare to the Oasis of the Seas? Well, for one thing, she's just a little bit bigger. She is 227,000 gross tons. Excuse me. Now, remember, tons is not weight in ships. That's the volume of the space. That's the best way to put it. Whereas the Oasis has 225,000 gross tons. She has... let's see. She has 2,747 staterooms. This is the Harmony for a double occupancy capacity of 5,479 passengers. That's 79 more passengers than the Oasis of the Seas can take at double occupancy. Okay, so that's just what's going on as far as the size is concerned. Pretty much, you can't tell the difference in the size. Now, here's some of the things that you can tell the difference in. The Harmony has some features that were rolled out on the Quantum class ships. And remember, we have told you over the years how Royal Caribbean brings out new features on new ships. If they work, they move it over to their new builds as the new builds come out, and that's what happened here. One of the ones that most people really notice is the robotic bar called the Bionic Bar. And it's a really cool bar. It's got two of these, on the in the car commercials, you see these arms that do the welding on the cars sometimes in the commercial. Well, that's what these things look like in the bar. And all the bottles are suspended upside down over these two robotic arms. You put your order in on an iPad, and then these arms go around, and they get the cup, they fill it up with ice, then they shoot it, they pick it up to the top of the ceiling there and get the booze comes out, and then they go put the mixer in, and they put it on a conveyor belt, and it comes out to you. So that's the Bionic Bar. The Harmony will have the wristbands that you can use. You use the wristband in lieu of your key card. Actually, they give you both, but you can use the wristband. It does everything your key card does, shopping, unlocking your door, and those things. The Harmony will have the virtual balconies. Now, this is a huge television screen, for lack of a better word, that's in the inside cabins, which is fed by a camera from the side of the ship. So it looks like you have a balcony stateroom, even though you have an inside cabin. All right, so those two features are going to be on the Harmony. The other thing that the Harmony will have, now I don't know, doesn't appeal to many of our folks, but it's the escape room will be a dedicated spot in which players must work with others to find clues needed to solve fiendish puzzles in 60 minutes or less. Now, this is one of the biggies on the Harmony. It's a 10-story slide called the Ultimate Abyss. It snakes and turns from the sports deck to the boardwalk. Okay, so the sports deck, and so on the Oasis, that's just an open space back where the crown and anchor is back behind the Aqua Theater. But that's a 10-story slide on the Harmony of the Seas. It also has the Perfect Storm trio of water slides on the sports deck and a Splashaway Bay Aqua Park for kids. And highlights of this space include sea creature water cannons, winding slides, and a gigantic drench bucket. So that's for the kids aboard. Now, one of the things that the Harmony has that the Oasis does not have that I'm really excited is Jamie's Italian Restaurant. If you've never eaten in a Jamie's, oh, wow, what an experience. Jamie is, of all things, an English cook from Britain. And we ate in this restaurant on the Quantum. It is fantastic. If you love Italian food, you are going to love Jamie's. And it's going to be in the place of where Giovanni's kitchen is right now on Central Park on Oasis. That's where Jamie's is. There are 2 new ice shows on the Harmony, 1887 and Ice Skate Showcase. 1887 is where you go back to England and you skate around in England in 1887. Now you guys remember on deck 14 where the Diamond Lounge is on the Oasis? Well, that's a restaurant called Wonderland on the Harmony of the Seas. And I'll just read you. I have a hard time with this restaurant. I have a rough time describing it, but this is an Alice in Wonderland inspired eatery where you're taken on a culinary journey using a molecular gastronomy style of cooking. Dry ice, unexpected flavors and aromas, and dishes that aren't what they appear to be. Okay? So that's Wonderland. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird, but a lot of people enjoy it. But the Windjammer Cafe up on the deck 16 is the ship is wider, so it's bigger. And Starbucks is not on the Royal Promenade. It goes to its own space back. Instead of being out in the middle of the promenade, it's a store on Boardwalk. Okay? So those are the major differences between the Harmony and the Oasis of the Seas. And again, I think we're really going to enjoy her. We're expecting the booking to open up a week from today, November 18th. If you'd like to make bookings for the Harmony or the Mariner, please give us a call at Cruise Holidays of Viera, 321-242-1331. Again, we won't know the pricing and everything until next week. Or shoot us an email at ocruiseholidays, that's the letter O as in Oscar, cruiseholidays at cfl.rr.com. All right, this week on Bill Mick's show, our Brevard tax collector was online on his show, and she announced something that I didn't realize you could do. And if you go to the website, BrevardTC.com, that's Brevard Tax Collector, just abbreviated, tc.com. There's and scroll down a little bit, you'll see a box there that says Tsa Precheck. And what she has done is made available for you to fill out the application for the Tsa Precheck online, schedule an appointment, and go to one of our tax collector offices and actually get your pre-check number. Now, the Tsa Precheck, if you've never used it, a lot of times the airlines are giving that to you when you as just a binny. But I think it costs $85 for 5 years. But it's really neat, especially at the Orlando airport. It's a separate line you go through. It's much faster than the regular line. You don't have to take off your belt. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take your laptop out of your carry-on luggage. So it's really nice. That's the Tsa Precheck, and now you can buy it for a 5-year period. And used to, we had to go to Orlando because you have to go and they have to see you and see your identification and make sure you're a real person and you're sort of normal. You're not an ISIS guy dressed in black carrying an Uzi or something. Anyway, it's now available to us in Brevard County. I want to really appreciate Lisa Cullen, our Brevard tax collector. Thank you so much for making this available for us. It's really a nice service. So just go to BrevardTC.com tangocharlie.com. Scroll down till you see the little box that says TSA Precheck and follow the procedures there. And now you can get a TSA Precheck. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It speeds things up quite a bit. It's just one of the things that the U.S. government is trying to make, travel and along with the CLEAR program and things like that to get back easier. By the way, when we got off of the Oasis last week, we no longer require customs documents, forms here at Port Canaveral, unless you have something to declare. If you're over $800 in local purchases or over 1 liter of alcohol per person, if you have those things, then you have to fill out a declaration. But it really speeded up the process of getting off the ship. I mean, I think it maybe 11 minutes from the time we picked up our luggage till we were at the car and driving out. So really nice. No more customs forms. All right. Here's Brother Is, and he's to serenade you with a little Hawaiian song as we leave you for our next brief timeout. When we come back, we're going to tell you all about this fantastic rail journey that we're going to be taking in the United Kingdom next year. So you want to stay tuned and hear all about it. So please join us.
Don't miss out on the show. Listen to Just Cruisin' on our iHeartRadio channel with the iHeartRadio app.
Hi, and welcome back. And happy Veterans Day to everybody. Thank a vet if you happen to see a veterinarian, not a veterinarian, a vet, a veteran, not a veterinarian. Thank a vet today if you see one. All right. We are really excited about telling you about a land tour that Linda and I are going to be escorting next year. And as most of you know, Linda is my lovely and gracious wife and the co-owner of Cruise Holidays of Viera and a delightful person to travel with. Much more delightful than me, so that's why it's good that she's going along. What we're going to do is we're going to take a 14-day journey next September, and we're going to be leaving here in Florida on September 8th and returning on September 23rd. And I'm just going to give you kind of a day-by-day of what we're going to be doing. Now, all of this information is available to you on our website at viera.cruiseholidays.com. And right there it says the Great British Rail Tour. So just click that. Now, what I'm excited about this is that we are going to be going to 9 different cities, and we're going to be taking trains to go between the cities. And once we get to each of the cities and towns that we're going to have a local guide take us on a walking tour of that town. We're going to some really small places, so that's what makes it even neater, and we're going to ride some really neat trains. Instead of 54 passenger buses, we're going to be bopping around in British trains. All right, and again, the information is available to you at viera.cruiseholidays.com. You can call us at Cruise Holidays of Viera, 321-242-1331. So on December 8th, we're going to fly out in the afternoon from here at Orlando International Airport, not Orlando Melbourne International Airport, but Orlando Airport. We're going to fly to Atlanta and then over to Heathrow. Heathrow Airport in London, where we'll be going to be met, and we're going to spend the night. We have that. We get there early in the morning, so we'll have the rest of the day in the afternoon, and we'll have dinner at a hotel that evening. Now, all of this tour includes the meals, breakfast and dinner each day, and the hotel stays. And when I give you the price, all of this is included in our guides and things like that. So that will be our first day in London. We'll have some free time. We'll probably have a chance to get on the hop-on, hop-off bus and ride around London and get an overview of London. And then the next morning, we're going to go to Paddington Station, and we're going to take a train over to Bristol. It's an hour and 45 minutes. By the way, each day, the baggage will be picked up at the hotel and taken to the next hotel, so we don't have to mess with it. In Bristol, we're going to have a local tour guide that's going to take us on a walking tour of the city and the waterfront. We'll see the SS Great Britain, the world's first luxury liner. That's going to be cool to see. And so we'll just do some sightseeing there in Bristol and go to our hotel. The next morning, we're going to get up and we're going to take another train, but this one's only 10 minutes, and it's going to take us into Bath. Now, Bath is the home of some of the best Roman ruins that are still existing in England. So we're going to go to the Roman baths, the Bath Abbey, and the National Fashion Museum while we're in Bath. And then in the afternoon, we'll have some free time for shopping and just looking around Bath, and then we'll have dinner in the hotel. The next day, we're going to take a train from Bath to Cardiff in Wales. And when we get to Cardiff, then we're going to have a guide that's going to take us around to see Cardiff in Wales. The next day, we're back in England. We're going to Chester, England, and we're taking a train again over to Chester, England. Again, see, these are small towns, so we get to see some of. It's sort of like what we do with the American Queen Steamboat. We get to see some of the back door of England, not just the big cities. And so then we're going to Chester. We'll have dinner that night at the Chester Hotel. Then we're going back to the Isle of Anglesey in Wales. The following day, we're going to see the Beaumaris Castle that was built by Edward I. We're going to the Plas Newydd House and Gardens in Wales, and we'll just spend the day there touring. The next day, we get back up, and we are off on another train journey to Windermere, England. And that's where we're going to, which is in the Lake District. We're going to have a boat ride on Lake Windermere. All these kind of things are what we're going to be doing. And each day, it's a train from one place to the next. The following day, we're going to go to Edinburgh, Scotland, taking the train from England to Scotland. Then we spend 2 days actually in Edinburgh. On day 10 now, we're going to Inverness. Again, trains from Edinburgh to Inverness. We'll spend the day in Inverness and the night. And then we're going to Dunrobin, Scotland. And we're going to go to a distillery. And that's a 2.5-hour journey to get from Inverness up to Dunrobin and visit there. Then we're going to the Isle of Skye. Again, a train. And at this place, we're going to take a steam train. We will take the train, the Kyle of Lochhalsh, and they will transfer to coach and head over the sea bridge to the Isle of Skye. And we're going to spend the day in the Isle of Skye. Then we come back and we go to Glasgow. We take another train to Glasgow, spend the night in Glasgow, and then we fly back home on September 23rd. We will be on that day, we're flying directly from Glasgow to Orlando, so it is a nonstop flight. We have priced this at $4,215 per person. That does not include airfare or insurance. The airfare looks like it's going to be $1,250 per person, and the insurance will be dependent upon your age as to how much that's going to cost. Again, if you'd like to join us for this United Kingdom rail tour, the $4,215 includes dinner, bed, and full breakfast. And this is double occupancy. We'll have private arrival transfers and group departure transfers, guide services at each of the places, tickets for all the attractions, standard class rail tickets, luggage transportation services. So that's all. We'd love to have you come with us because this is going to be magnificent. It's just really a great, great way to see England, kind of a behind-the-scenes, backdoor way of looking at England, going to small towns, riding on rails, and getting to see the English and Welsh and Scottish countryside. So please visit our website at viera.cruiseholidays.com or give us a call at Cruise Holidays of Viera, 321-242-1331. And by the way, if you're just joining us, this is Just Cruising. We're here every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1240 and 1350 WMMB. Our podcasts are available to you on our website at viera.cruiseholidays.com or via our app. And if you want to get our app, just go to the Apple App Store or the Google App Store and type in Cruise Holidays of Viera, Cruise Holidays Viera, and it'll bring up our app, and you can load that up, and we'll send you notifications. And our webpage also has the podcast. We are also on YouTube now with broadcasts of our show each week. And so if you'd like to see what our show looks like, you can see us on YouTube and you can just Google Just Cruising, Cruise Holidays of Viera, or search for that on YouTube. All right. Back to what was going on in the news that came across the old computer monitor this week. You may remember that Linda and I will be escorting a group on November 20th. We're going to be taking Azamara over to Havana, Cuba. We're going to do a 7-day cruise out of Miami. There's been a lot of news lately about some of the travel restrictions that President Trump has reinstituted that has been getting a lot of news. Now, one of the things I want to tell you, all of the restrictions that have been put back into place, President Obama relaxed some of these, and President Trump has now reversed that. None of these impact cruising. Cruising has not changed at all going to Cuba. We can still go. We can get visas. The visas are given to us on the ship. We can take excursions once we get to Cuba. We can shop and do all kinds of the normal things that you would do at a port of call on a cruise ship. So none of this has impacted our travel to Cuba. What you can't do is go to Cuba on your own. There are certain hotels you can't stay in. There are certain tour groups that you cannot be a part of. But as far as cruising is concerned, nothing has changed. And we have several ways of cruising to Cuba. Azamara, as I told you, has 7-day cruises. Royal Caribbean has 4- and 5-day cruises to Cuba from out of Tampa. Norwegian Cruise Lines has cruises out of Miami, 4 days that go to Havana. And then we have various longer cruises such as Oceania, Pearl Cruises that do longer itineraries that do more than one stop in Cuba. So nothing has changed as far as cruising to Cuba is concerned. There have been some changes about land tours, about people-to-people exchanges, about cultural requirements that you have to do, but it does not impact Cuba cruising. So if you would still like to go to Cuba, we'll be glad to help you make that dream come true at Cruise Holidays of Viera. Our phone number is 321-242-1331. Our website is viera.cruiseholidays.com. Oh, also on our website, if you'll scroll down, it says subscribe, and it will take you to our YouTube channel there, and you can go and watch our show. Okay, band is here. We've come to our last port of call for the day. We've got one more segment of Just Cruising to share with you, and we'll be right back after this very brief break, so please join us.
Larry's back with Just Cruising here on 1240 and 1350 WMMB.
Hi there. Welcome back. Okay, it's November, and starting in January, and I'll just tell you how our the world of cruising's calendar works. Starting in January and extending through approximately March, the rest of the world has what's known as the wave season. And what the wave season is I think there's a 20 or 30% increase in people reserving and booking their vacations during that January to roughly April timeframe. So it creates a wave in the bookings. And if you're looking at a chart, it looks like a wave goes up. So it's called the wave season. it's not that Florida. Our booking tends to be evens out more level than that. But anyway, in anticipation of the wave season, which is generally the November timeframe, is when the cruise lines roll out their new deployments, and the deployment is basically the schedule for the year following the one that they have on the books right now. So for us, it's coming up on the first part of 2019 through the spring of 2019. That's what's being announced in anticipation of wave season. So you're going to be hearing a lot of things about ships moving, as we talked to you earlier in the show about the Harmony coming here and the Mariner coming here and Oasis going to Barcelona. But you're going to hear a lot of news from all the different cruise lines over the next few weeks as they roll out their deployments in anticipation of the wave season. And one of the announcements that came out this last week, in addition to our changes at the here at the Port of Canaveral, Royal Caribbean is joining Norwegian Cruise Lines and moving a mega ship to Alaska. Now, I have to tell you, I have very mixed reaction to this. Alaska is a fragile place. Alaska, the ports are small, the towns are small, and I'm worried that we're going to put too many people there with these big ships. I would really, now we have a limitation out of Vancouver because we can only take passengers out of Vancouver that on about 2,600 passenger ships, because they have a bridge there called the Lion Bridge that you can't get under with bigger ships. However, Seattle doesn't have that restriction. So last year, Norwegian Cruise Lines announced that they were building a new ship, and it's purpose-built for Alaska. It's called the Bliss, and it will be going up there this summer in 2018. Now Royal Caribbean has joined the fray by announcing that they're going to move the Ovation of the Seas from Asia to Alaska in 2019. Now, again, I want you to think back over the last few years how I've said I didn't think it was a great idea moving our biggest, greatest, newest ships over to Asia because I didn't think that market was going to be sustainable. And that's what's happening. Now everybody's starting to move their ships back out of there because it's not happening over there. I remember all the great hoopla and everything else about how wonderful China was going to be and how it was going to dwarf the U.S. market, and now people are pulling back out of there. So anyway, the Ovation of the Seas, which is on the same lines as it's in the Quantum class, will be going up to Alaska in 2019. Let's see. What this is going to mean is for our ships in Alaska, this is how it's going to be. The size leader right now is Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas and Celebrity of the Seas. Explorer's at 138,000 tons, and Celebrity's Solstice is 121,000. That, to me, is about the maximum of what we should be taking to Alaska, but that's not going to happen. Princess's ships that they have up there in Alaska are the Ruby Princess and the Emerald Princess, both at 113,000. And so Royal Caribbean also has the Radiance in Alaska at 90,000 tons. So ships are going to be getting bigger. Now, what does that mean to you? That means you need to go to Alaska next year. You need to go in 2018 before all those big ships get up there and it gets really crowded. So just a word to the wise. Right now, this month in November is the time you need to be booking your Alaska cruise. Don't wait till the first of the year. Pricing and availability is the best right now, and it is going fast. Alaska is hot. Alaska is really booking very, very quickly. I am seeing whole cruise tours already for 2018 that are completely sold out. I am seeing cabin categories in the balcony cabins not available anymore on certain sailings, and that's because of the popularity of Alaska and the unpopularity of Europe. So these trends go like a pendulum. They go back and forth, and right now the pendulum is swinging towards Alaska. Word to the wise, book your Alaska vacation right now, and there's nobody better to do that for you than the folks at Cruise Holidays of Viera, and that phone number is 321-242-1331. What we'd like for you to do is come to our offices in Suntree at the corner of Suntree Boulevard and Wickham Road. Call us, make an appointment so that we'll have time to devote to telling you all about Alaska, and we make sure that you understand all of what's going on with these cruises. They're slightly complicated, but not as bad as it looks when you go out on the web by yourself. So let us take away all of that confusion, all of that murkiness about going to Alaska. We've been there many times. We've booked hundreds of passengers there. We call our passengers when we come back. We know that we get feedback on what's the best things to do, what not to do. And so we'll be happy to share all of that information with you if you'll just call us at Cruise Holidays of Viera, 321-242-1331. Visit our webpage, viera.cruiseholidays.com. All right, just a few other things to wrap up this week about the news this week. Royal Caribbean had a conference up in New York City this last week where they rolled out some of the high technology things that they're getting ready to do on their fleet. And I guess what they're trying to do, and this kind of sums it up, I think, and this is from their director of technology. He says, our vision is to make the guest experience hassle-free, personalized, and fun. One specific focus is removing time-stealing moments from the cruise experience. Quote, time spent in the queue, whether you're waiting for your food, waiting for your bags to arrive, waiting on a table, or booking an excursion, is time stolen from your time off. And that is the attitude that Royal Caribbean is going to be taking coming forward. Such things as using facial recognition to speed up the boarding process so that when you walk in the terminal, they know who you are, where you're going, what you're going to do, and they want to make the boarding experience, he says, as fast as ordering French fries at a drive-through restaurant. So let's see. A lot of great technology coming down. Royal Caribbean is investing in that technology, and all of it's meant to make your cruise experience better. Well, we unfortunately have come to the end of another segment of Just Cruising. I want to thank you so much for being with us this Saturday morning, and hope you'll come back next Saturday morning or visit us on our podcast or go to the iHeart app and join us, because we love bringing you the show, and we hope you enjoy listening to it. So until we see you again, keep on cruising. Jackson of Just Cruising. Hope you're enjoying Just Cruising here on YouTube. If you'd like to keep up to date on all the videos that we'll be producing here in the near future, all you have to do is click the subscribe button just below my picture here, or you can click right over here for a list of the latest videos. Either way, we look forward to seeing you again. Until we do, keep on cruising.